Arthur Bablis here. Congratulations for getting to the Conscious Evolution Show, the podcast, part of the Evolve from the Inside Out community. And we're going to be coming to you here. We're going to be having discussions and conscious conversations. And our whole purpose is to get you thinking about your thinking, to ask you some questions so you can discover the decisions that you need to make in order for you to start moving your life forward. How do you bring in more joy, more love, more happiness, more success into your life? You see, leadership, success, and happiness, it doesn't just happen. It's cause and effect. Being a world-class therapist, an extraordinary coach and heart-centered healer requires you to do the inner work, to continually grow and evolve. In this podcast, I'm going to share with you what I've learned on my journey in this wonderful field, blending modern science, traditional wisdoms, and spiritual laws to help you to discover that essence inside of you and ask yourself the questions to help you to finally break through. Here's a question. Who would you be? What would you do? And how would you feel if you already had blank? Think about that. This podcast is going to help you fill in the blanks. This is Arthur Bablis. Welcome everyone, that time again, Conscious Conversations with Arthur Bablis, Conscious Mastery Conversations. And yes, we're going to help you fill in the blanks today. I've got a special guest today. I'm so excited about today's conversation, discussion and chat we're going to have. Look, it's been such a busy day. Like everyone knows, I'm here in Cronulla. Been doing this for the last 3 years from a beautiful studio here that we've set up. And of course, here's the view. I've got to show you the view because this is one of the last times I'm going to have this view. I'm moving tomorrow. I've got some exciting things are happening, getting my kids together and living in a big house. And I'm looking forward to that. Still going to be in the area, so I'm going to be coming down here. But today is a very special interview. And now so much is happening. Like my tech, my boxes are everywhere. My tech was falling down. And you know what? The person I'm speaking to today, we got so much rapport. We've known each other so well. We said, you know what? Let's just get on, have a conversation because she has a story that you guys need to hear. Guys, you know we've been doing this in the last 27 years, 30 years in the field of complementary medicine, personal growth, human performance, helping people to rise up, helping people to become better versions of themselves, with these wonderful tools in energy work, kinesiology, NLP, hypnosis, coaching, all the tools to actually help people to let go of the things they've been holding on to that no longer serve them, and for them to become the person they need to be, for them to get into the frequency, the vibration of the person they were born to be, so they can bring more joy, more love, more happiness, more success into their life. And I have to say, I met this person probably almost a decade ago now. And, interesting how we met. We met in the direct selling industry. I think it was at a meeting we were once, and we sat at a pub somewhere in the Manly area. We're having a drink, and we realised we had a lot of common interests in personal growth and helping people evolve. And she was doing some work with another personal development industry. And she was very much heavily in the sales game back then. She was a young mum, still young, right, young mum, and making her way in this field and helping this organisation get on the phone, letting people to come along to these events they were running. And I thought, hey, I like this girl. And we had a coffee once at Oliver Brown in Beverly Hills, and we discussed how can we work together. And we ended up doing some work together. And I have to say, since that time, it's only a short time, 6 or 7 years, we go back to when Alexis was, or Lexi, maybe when you get to know her, she allows you to call you Lexi. So when Lexi was working with us, I've seen some dramatic change over the last 7 years. She's created a global brand, Alexis Jane Coaching. She's a business coach. She actually helps entrepreneurs, small businesses, people who really want to make a difference to actually level up and really get not just their mindset right, but their energy set, get their frequency, get their vibration where it needs to be so they can authentically share the message, authentically communicate, authentically lead, and authentically, I'll use the word sales, but sales is communication. If you're being authentic, if you're being genuine, if you know you got something to be able to support someone and help them on their journey to become better, it's just a conversation that you have with someone, an authentic conversation. And, I had a chat with her a couple of weeks back. I said, Lexi, let's get you on the show because you've got a story. I want to hear it again. I know the viewers want to hear it. I want everyone, let's give Alexis Jane a round of applause. Let's bring her down. Everyone, this is Alexis Jane. Give her a round of applause. Alexis, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for being on the show, Conscious Mastery Conversations. And I'm excited because, as I said, we met a decade ago and we did some work together about 7 years ago. And, so much has happened in everyone's life. And more importantly, I look back where you started and where you are now. It's just a geometric progression. So congratulations. Welcome to the show. I'm going to ask what's the secret, but we want to probably hear the whole story, right? As much as you want to share, all right? So tell us, how did you get? Tell us whatever you want to share first, and then we'll talk about your story.
So thank you for having me, and I'm really beyond excited to be here. And yeah, we reached out to each other and had a conversation, and I haven't done an interview for a little while, so this is really nice and refreshing to be back in this space. And yeah, worlds have changed since the moment that we first met back in the direct selling situation, and then the personal development, and then where I am now in life and in business. And there's lots of things that are happening in the background, which have only happened in since last week sometime. I can't remember what day it was, but it's like there's some really big deliciousness that's happening. And so that's really unfolding, and it's a lot to do in the sales space and organically selling. And
straight away, I love the words that you use, the deliciousness. So already got some great adjectives to really conjure up, some great image, because we do things in pictures, right? In images. And so if you're able to help people create the picture in their mind, I'm already, I'm salivating for the rest of the conversation. So, you said, like where you are now. Maybe we can start where you are now. Tell us, Alexis Jane, tell us where you are now, what's happening, what have you created, and what's your mission now?
So where I am now is my very, 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 very first coach mentor in February last year invited me to be her business partner in a leadership program she'd been creating for 10 years. And that just blew my mind that she wanted me to be walking next to her on that journey. So I have a leadership space that I'm working in, and we work with corporates. And so our clients are the conversations that we have are the conversations when I very first started coaching. I don't even know how to get into these rooms. And I'm in these rooms having these conversations about buying jets, about buying islands, about doing these things for the purpose of the greater good. So to be able to bring people to a healing center and do all these magical things. And I'm a part of that journey with this client. And we've got other clients that have got phenomenal big goals, big dreams, and big aspirations. And when I look back on who I was to who I'm now, I'm like, oh, little old Lex is in this room. How did she get here? How did I get here? And I think that anyone is able to do anything that they desire. And once you plant that seed, you don't know how fast it's going to grow. You don't know how slow it's going to grow. And it's about being patient along that journey and knowing that it will evolve when you stay the course. I've had my downs, I've had my ups, I've had my in-betweens and all of the things, and being able to stay steady. And one of my new clients, well, she's not a new client, but she's a client I've had for a long time, but we've only just in the last year probably started working together again. And she's got a business called Kids Get Money. It's a startup, and I'm heavily involved in really helping her create that more than just the coaching side of things now. So there's stuff that's underway at the moment in regards to building out her whole sales process and building out her sales team and really getting it out and launching it into the market. So there's that. And you never know where you're going to go and what you're going to do. And Kids Get Money is all about eradicating poverty and teaching kids financial literacy. And that just really has just fired my insides and my soul up to be able to do that. So I have my coaching business where I work with small businesses, the business owner, and they're usually solopreneurs who are looking to potentially build their teams. So I help them with their confidence, their sales, and their processes to build the teams out. And I've got the Kids Get Money, which has kind of evolved in the last 5 days that I decided that I wanted to get heavily more involved. And I've got the leadership space, which we work with corporations with the CEO or the business owner and up to five of their executive team.
Look, as I said, it's awesome to hear the story to where you are, like where you are now, and things just keep on evolving, right? And when I think like Tony 7 years ago, you had the dreams, had the aspirations, and you're working hard. How are you going to make it happen, All right. So, and as you said, it's like, oh, can look at where Lexi is right now. All right. So, I mean, I suppose everyone asked the question, what's the secret? I mean, what was it for you? Like, because being in this field for the last 3 decades, I see people come and go in the industry. Longevity is the biggest thing. I think the key thing that you want to be working with someone who's been in the space, who evolves in the space and can continue to serve in the space. So many people come and go. They last 2 or 3 years in the industry. I think a lot of people coming into this industry today from a different intention. You see a lot of noise online, become a coach, we're going to help you make a 6-figure income overnight, from people who taking photos of other people's cars, other people's audiences, other people's, all that type of stuff, and not necessarily coming across from a genuine, authentic space. So for you, what happened in the 7 years? What journey did you go on for yourself in order for you to become the person you are today, to be in the rooms where you're talking with clients about islands and jets and multinational corporations? Because people think, well, are we ever going to be able to get into a boardroom like that? It's like, but how did you work on becoming the person you needed to be, the frequency, the energy to bring that into your life? Because some of the conversations I've had with you, like you're talking to clients and they shift some energetic shit and bang, 10K in the bank account, bang, another client. And so for that to happen, someone needs to understand that we're more than just the physical, and that we attract being who we are. So I want to know about your journey in the 7 years to get to Alexis Jane today.
Identity.
Okay.
Knowing who you are, because I saw myself for a very long time as a single mum who was meant to be on welfare or meant to be on government support. I tried to do it and I couldn't do it. Like, government support just did my head in. It was too confusing and I couldn't really understand it, and it was just a lot. So I'm like, I need to figure this shit out so I don't have to go through this process, because that's energetically exhausting. Yes, I think that there's a place for it and I think that it helps a lot of people, but it just wasn't my thing. And really digging in every time that there's a shift and a change, it's who am I now? Who am I being? Who do I need to be to have the thing? And filling in the blanks, like you said, it's like, who do I need to be to have the business that I want? Who do I need to, and making that decision, deciding and moving from there. Whether the decision that you made is the right one or the wrong one, it's deciding and committing and staying true to you and staying true to your course, and having that bigger vision, bigger goal that no matter what moves you. And like I said, throughout my journey over the 7 years, I've been on antidepressants. I've went and got a job at the end of last year for a little bit just to get myself out of my own little funk. There was some personal stuff that was going on that I really couldn't shift, even with my training and eating and all of the things just weren't shifting for me. So when I got a job in a gym, where it was literally just the funnest job that I've ever worked in, and there was no judgment from me. It's, don't judge yourself. You've got to do what you've got to do for you and what works best for you. And if in a moment in time you need to go and get a job, or you need to have support and help from somebody, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. I'm not allowed to swear on here. It doesn't mean
just be you. Be okay being you. All right. Even though we're going live online, doesn't matter. Just be ourselves. We did so it doesn't.
And one of the biggest things that I've noticed and I see in a lot of my clients is they make it mean something about them. I didn't make the sale, so it means that I'm a shit person. Like, one of my clients today decided not to continue working with me. I'm like, no worries. I said, as long as we can continue our friendship, that's all that matters to me right now. Business is business. Friendship is the emotional side. Business is business. And when you make business and not emotional, that's when, because for a long time, I made business very emotional. I made it mean something if someone decided not to continue working with me. They don't like me. I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
It's dramatic. It was all of the things. And that's one of the things that I really tune into with my clients is, when people leave you in the coach or in your own business, whatever business that is, it means that they're not aligned with you anymore, and you're up leveling, and they're not ready to come with you. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or they're a bad person. It doesn't mean anything about the human being. It just means that you no longer are in resonance with each other, and go, well, if I'm losing 5 clients, I haven't lost 5 clients, but one of my clients had lost 5 clients, and she's like, oh my God. I'm like, well, you're just about to sign up 10, because those 5 clients were energetically exhausting you. And once you allow that and release the energetics behind the meaning that we create to it, she went from inconsistent $10,000 months up to $92,000 months by really cleaning up the energy, and nothing actually shifted other than the way that she energetically felt about herself.
So what was the shift there when you say energetically felt about herself? Where did she go from to what?
Well, every time someone got onto a sales call, so she had a sales call, I need to speak to my husband. And so that was a trigger. I need to speak to my husband. Well, she's going to say no. Her husband's going to say no. So then she's going to have a story. But the story doesn't even exist because we don't know what the story is behind it. So on a sales call, listening to the objections and really understanding what they're actually saying. Usually, if I don't have any money, means I'm scared because the amount of work that I need to put in to get the result. Am I capable of doing the work to get the result? Because everyone has money somewhere. You can find money anywhere. And when I first heard this, I was like, no, you can't. And over the years, I've witnessed it. I've seen people create a GoFundMe page saying I need support, and people have supported them. They were so embarrassed to do it, but they went and did it because it's what they needed to do to survive in that very moment. You can go and get a job somewhere doing something. Like there's always something that you can do. So it's about opening up your opportunity and seeing what's actually available to you in that moment. Because when you completely shut down and say, nothing's going to help me, no one's going to help me, blah, 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 you're creating stories. So the biggest thing when it comes to shifting someone from where they are to where they want to go is really understanding at the core what it is. And so I've had clients who've said, I want to create a team. I'm like, well, you need to put ads out there, you need to start having conversations. And at the core of it, they really want to build a team, but underneath all of it, it's, I don't know that I can pay them every month. I don't know that I'll be able to, what if I don't make the money to be able to pay them? And then it's the control. How do I control them and micromanage them and make sure that they're doing the work that I want them to do, because they're not me. No, they're not you. And if we want to build and expand and grow, that's my biggest thing that I've learned is I've had to allow team members to come in and help me support with certain areas of my business because it's too much. And they're really good at that aspect and I'm really good at my thing. And when we do that, everything just flows and grows and it's just yummy.
Awesome. Yummy, delicious, yummy again.
Yummy,
You know, just
listening,
just listening to you, Alexis, now, like, I get why your clients get the results with you. Because just hearing you now, because there's a quote that we use in the healing, and it's from a guy from Andre Watson. It's about hypnosis, but it's got to do with anything that we do in life, whether you're a coach, anything that you do. It says that a client will not materialize what the practitioner doesn't believe is true or think is possible. And you just said, you can get money anywhere. I believe you can get money. And because of that belief you have, that's, I'd say, one of the key reasons why energetically you're so aligned, your clients get the results. Yeah, you get so many coaches who they hope the clients do well, they hope they succeed, but you've got this underlying belief. You've got this underlying belief because you've gone through it. Anyone can do it. Everyone deserves it. Everyone is an ultimate being of light. You just need to go out and do it. So let me ask you. So congratulations for that. That is awesome because that came very clear. It came through. You've got that underlying belief. You know what? If you want money, you can get it because money is just an energy. You just need to add value, right? So what happened for you? What was the shift for you? How did you go from that, single mum story, right? You said identity, but what was the shift in your identity? What was the process you went through? Tell us a little bit more of the story because, I think this is the reason why most people don't stick it out and they don't get there. I mean, the industry, when you think about the industry, like, close to 90% of people are gone within 3 years of the industry, right? And you've been almost a decade now in this field. So what kept you going, right? And what was the shifts that you did to get from the single mum story on welfare? Can I do this to now money's everywhere, anyone can get it, and being in the energy to be in the conversations that you're having with people today?
I've spent a lot of money on my own personal education around all of the things. But one of the very first memories that I have when you asked that question, there was a women's networking event at Kiami Tradies. And I pretty much think that I had maybe $5 in my bank account. I had black jeans on, black high heels, a black top, a black jacket. I don't even know if all of the clothes were mine or if I'd borrowed them from mum or my sisters. Red lipstick, makeup, and I looked the part. And I was sitting in the car park. I'm like, oh my God, if anyone sees the car that I'm driving, it's not going to marry up to who I actually am. And I created this identity and I created this character. I am powerful. I'm here to serve women and I'm here to be a game changer. And I walked into the room, and one of the biggest things that shifts for me and my clients and the process that I take them through is when you set a really strong intention. So you walk into a room of 150 people. You don't want to speak to 150 people. You want to speak to the 3 to 5 top people that are going to bring more value to your life and that you can bring value to your life, whether it's a friendship or whether it's business. But the intention is bringing value to each other's lives. I never walk into a room going, I'm going to get a client tonight. It's like the top 5 people that I need to be connected to, I am going to meet. And I didn't actually realize I was doing this. It was kind of at a subconscious level. And I walked into this room and I met Annette, who now is still working with me. And this was back in 2017, I think. And we've worked on and off. And now we're heavily involved with working together with Kids Get Money. But we didn't meet until the very, very end, last moments of the event. She connected with me and we had a conversation. We jumped onto a phone call. She said, I need to work with you. So creating the identity for yourself, but creating a character and have fun doing what you're doing, because business, when you hear the word business, it's like, ooh, it's like heavy, it's neat. But if I want to go and serve and deeply do the things that I know that I'm really good at and help people shift and change. And when you get into the energy of service, everything changes. If you go into business because you want to make money, that is only going to last a certain amount of time before you burn out and you're not authentic and you're not true, and people can feel your energetics behind you are only getting them over the line because you need the money. And when you're in a desperation energy, like there's been times where I giggle now and I look back and I've been crying and carrying on and having full-blown tantrums. But the one thing I continued to hold was the bigger vision in my head, even in those moments. And I was still signing, like at that moment in time, I was signing $5,000 packages paid in full USD. I'm like, how's this even happening? And I'm like, crazy banana pants. So you could be a hot mess and still manifest. And that's and so what we need to do in that moment is understand what's going on for you. But I've helped many women who have been going through crazy banana pant stuff in the background. And I'm like, okay, well, where are we going? What are we doing? We just need to so when you walk into a room, that stuff's still going to be there when you come out. Just park it and go, when I come back, I'll pick you up. But right now I'm walking in and this is who I am in this room.
Wow, I like that. You can be a hot mess and still manifest. That's a great title. You can be a hot mess and still manifest. Yeah, it's true. I mean, we've always got stuff going on, right? But so many of us make it about the stuff and use that stuff as the excuse. We start pointing the finger as opposed to taking responsibility and saying, hey, love what you just said, just park it because we're always going to have it. Just put it aside. Choose who you're going to be right now in order to serve. And again, that service mentality. And I was just having a conversation with another client today, actually. She rang up from a person just finished our program, said, look, I want to do your program. And she's been in the field for 25 years as a practitioner, and she wanted to upskill herself and everything else. And just listen to her. Her purpose being in his service. And she said the same thing. Many people that she's seen over the years, being in this field for 25 years, that people have gone from that service here to make a difference. So coming in this coaching space, for a quick win, make money, to things turning around again. I think we're starting to come out of this, maybe moving into this age of Aquarius. I do have the Aquarius sound effect here. Maybe we can put this on. Age of Aquarius. Whoa. So we are moving into that where we're becoming more conscious, where we're being very clear on the identity that we need to be, the person that we need to become in order for us to be aligned with our true self, our true spirit, and so we can have those authentic conversations, authentic sales conversations, lead with an authentic sales, and that's really what it is that you do. That's what you love. You love your sales, you love your leadership, of doing it in an aligned way, an energetically aligned way, in an authentic way.
And you don't need to have a title to be a leader either.
Mm.
You get to lead you first. You get to lead your own life. And because when I first heard of leadership, I thought it was only corporate. Like, I had no idea. I was so uneducated about this space that I'm in right now. And you have to lead you first. And it's not selfish to put yourself first, because when you put yourself first, you're coming from a full cup. If you're always letting everybody else go first and making sure everyone else is okay, you are exhausted and completely burnt out, and there's nothing delicious or energetically appeasing or magnetic to want to be around you. Like, I think that when I walk into a room, people are like, oh, I need to speak to her. And I know that because I look after me, and I'm very energetic, and I'm very like out there all the time when it comes to being in a social network. And I look very extrovert. I don't like extrovert and introvert. I just am who I am, but we have these labels that we put on ourselves. But I love being home alone. I love my own space. Nothing excites me more than walking into the house of an afternoon, pouring a glass of wine, getting on my computer, finishing off whatever needs to get finished off. Or when I'm with my daughter, we're doing homework of an afternoon. So she's in year 7 now. And so
Year 7, wow. Where did the time go, man?
You met her when she was in year 1.
Wow. Yeah. Awesome. Well, my kids are 22, 23 now, 21. Oh my God.
I know. You blink and they're big. And so I love being alone, and she knows that I love being alone, but she also loves having her own space and recouping. And we giggle about it. She's like, Mum, I'm your daughter. I need to be alone. I go, okay.
Oh, I love it.
But it's understanding, and like I said, identity, but it's also knowing who you are. Like, what fuels you, what excites you, and what gives you energy, what depletes your energy. Do a full audit on your life. What gives you energy? What depletes your energy? What do you do if you are depleted to replenish yourself? And what does your food and exercise look like? What's your diet and exercise? And really tune into the foods that feel good, and food that doesn't. I know that when I eat bread, and I love bread, my skin gets itchy and I shouldn't eat it. But I do every now and then. But it's having the awareness. The more aware you are of who you are and paying attention to how you play out life, and what we have behaviors that are created over time that become our identity. And if we don't know what is actually happening, how do we shift it and change it? It's like, I'm the kind of person that does this. Well, are you? Or have you just chosen to be that person? No, this is who I am. Cool. How's that serving you?
Well, I'm looking at all the chat coming through, Lex, and we got people saying, I hear you. They're also saying yummy and delicious. So they're loving your language. So we've got people. So guys, if you're watching live, just let us know, #live, so you're watching. And if you've got a question for Lexi, in terms of the identity shift she went through from being a single mum, the story she told herself back then, to being, Alexis Jane coaching now, working with corporates and creating the iconic brand with the work that she does. If you've got a question for her, ask her the question. We'll ask her, or if we don't get a chance to ask it, we'll be going through the chats later on, and we'll get back to you. We'll certainly get back to you and connect with you. So let us know where you're listening or watching from as well too, because that's going to help everyone else connect as well too. So Lexi, by saying know who you are, all right, and presenting yourself with the person that you need to be in order for you to be in the frequency to bring the love, more joy, more happiness, more success in your life. What are the things that you can share with people to help them shift that identity so they can look at this, leading themselves, look at sales? Because if they're an entrepreneur, solo entrepreneur, business person, I mean, sales really, without sales, you're not building a business. And sales actually makes the economy go around, right? Sales is actually helping people transform. If there was a different name for sales, it's like, well, this transaction, you know what you call it? Transaction is the start of transformation. You know what sales is? Transaction is a start of transformation. Transformation starts with a transaction. Yeah.
Yeah, and sales is service. And so the very first thing when I talk to people about selling, so there's a few different layers. First of all, when it comes to selling, find out and figure out, how do you purchase? What is your buying process? So if you were to purchase something for $10, what's your buying process in that? If you were to purchase something like a car for $100,000, what's your buying process? And if someone's watching this, I just got energy of like, oh, $100,000 is too much. I would never buy anything for $100,000. Well, there's something energetically, because if we think about numbers, put a number on a piece of paper. It's a number. You put a dollar sign in front of it and it's like, it means something, because we put so much meaning to what money means and what the thing actually means. And I, for a very long time, I made what the number in my bank account look like means something about me. I'm a bad person. I'm shit at this. I'm bad at that, and blah, blah, blah. So with selling, how do you buy? What is your buying process? Get really laser clear on how you purchase stuff. Are you afraid of salespeople when you walk into a shop or a car yard or going to look at a property and real estate agents? Really tune into, how do you buy? Because it's a mirror reflection on how people are going to buy from you.
Yeah.
And then once you know how you purchase, go, ooh, there's some stuff energetically you need to move through. And then figure out, how do you want your people to feel when they buy from you? What's your selling process you want to take them through? And if you're in this coaching industry, what value are you bringing to them? Are they getting onto a sales call with you? Are they going through a funnel first and they have to watch all these different videos and they have to fill out a form? Like, what is the process and the journey is what I'm looking for. What's the journey you want to take them on for you to have them as a client? And at the end of the day, when it comes to coaching, especially in the coaching industry, you are interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be working with everybody. And not everyone's for you and not everyone's for them. And that's okay.
I like what you said that before. You said that too when you walked into a room with 100, 150 people, you know, and you're talking. You're not there to serve everyone, which, you know, it's an interesting mindset, right? Because people would want to say, hey, I want to be able to get my message across to everyone, as many people as I can help. But I like what you said there, because understanding that not everyone's for you, that I'm here to serve, I'm here to share my message, and I understand there's 4 or 5 people going to connect with me, the ones that need to connect with me will be vibrating. So that also takes a lot of maybe angst and stress out for yourself. And is this landing with everyone? Hey, it doesn't have to land with everyone. It just needs to land with the 4 or 5 people that energetically, and I don't want to say numbers game, but let's just say it's a frequency game. All right.
It's a frequency game. And it's like, I do a lot of networking now. Like, I do a lot of offline stuff. And I just remember I was in Potts Point. I was going to this networking event. And I really was like, do I go? Don't I go? I don't really know what I'm feeling right now. And I'm like, just go. Anyway, as I'm walking to the event, I'm like, oh, I'm going to meet the most amazing humans tonight when I get there. At some point tonight, I'm going to meet him or them. It turned out to be him. And I got in the room and we had a drink and we're all chatting and whatever. And then we sat down to watch the presenter talk. And I was like, at that point, I went, haven't met them. Maybe I was feeling off. I don't know. It's all good. I said, oh, you can network afterwards and have a drink. So next thing you know, this person like beelines and comes to me. Me and him start talking. The next, well, he's now a client and he's re-signed for a year to work with me. And he's like, I asked the universe to send me the next energetic coach. And I said, I was walking here and said, I'm going to find the person that I need to have a conversation with. And at that moment, we hadn't decided that we wanted to work together, but he was the person that I needed to talk to. And so when you walk into a room and you say, I'm going to be connected with the top 5 people that I need to be connected to, or even just the one person to connect with, you don't know who they know. So they might not be your person, but you don't know who they know.
That's right. They know a person, knows a person, knows a person. That's your person. Love it. So, energetic coach, let me ask you a question, because the listeners are probably listening out, man, I want to be able to do what Lexi does. And really at the core of it is our energetics, as you say, right? So we can be aligned. So as an energetic coach, you mentioned one thing, you told everyone what you want to do is take an audit, an energetic audit, right? So that's a great tip. So think about the situations that deplete your energy, the people that deplete your energy, all right, the situations that enhance your energy, the people that enhance your energy, the foods and everything else. So an audit is a great tip. What else would you suggest for them as an energetic coach? How do you help someone become aligned with the person they need to be so they can start shifting their identity to become the person?
I love this question. So one of the biggest things that I do with my clients very early on is I get them to entertain the idea for 7 days. I do like them to do it for a lot longer. I get them to do a brain dump. So one of my clients came to me and she's like, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, and she used lots of other words. And I said, all I need you to do for the next 7 days is write out everything every day for 10 minutes, write everything that you're angry about. The people, the situations, everything. And so she did that. Within that week, she had people reaching out to her that she hadn't spoken to in a long time. She was getting business that she hadn't had. Like business just kept flowing through into her experience because we were extracting the energetic heaviness. So feel into your body and go, do I feel heavy or do I feel light? And look at your posture. Are you punched over or you set up straight and your chest is open? So one thing that I love to do is doing a brain dump about anything. Lexi's told me to do a brain dump, put my timer on for 10 minutes. I can hear the dog barking outside, the birds are chirping, and I think I might need to go to the toilet. I don't really know, but I'm not taking my pen off the paper until Lexi tells me, until my alarm goes off, because this is what Lexi told me to do. It doesn't need to make any sense whatsoever. And one thing I heard Tony Robbins say was ask yourself conscious questions. So after the brain dump, ask yourself a conscious question. So if you're looking to figure out who you are, ask, who am I stepping into, or who do I want to be, or how do I want to show up today for myself? How do I want to show up today for my kids? And the more that you do the brain dump and then you ask the conscious question, your higher self starts flowing through because you've gotten rid of all the surface noise. There's no like noise, and your hand just starts to like, holy guacamole, I didn't even know that was inside of me. And it's really, it's so fascinating the things that come out when they come back to me. One client said, I didn't know that I wasn't cleaning my teeth or brushing my hair. Like she just would get up, have a coffee, go into the office because the office was at home. And she's like, oh my God, I'm revolting. And she didn't know that she wasn't looking after herself. She was just doing business as business. Before she went to bed, she's like, I was cleaning my teeth and doing everything then. But in the morning, I just got up, got a piece of toast, had a coffee, went straight into the office. So I didn't need to leave the house. I just stayed in my pajamas till I needed to leave the house later in the day. So then we had to change the way that she did life. She had to get up, shower, clean her teeth, do all the things, walk out the back door, walk around the side gate, and then into the front door as if she was walking into the office. Her business went bananas from one shift. Nothing else shifted other than that process.
And love that, because really that's the core. It's the mentality people have. And that process for me, it's like she's gone from a part-time mentality to a full-time mentality. That doesn't, full-time, part-time is not about the time you spend in your business, but the time that you spend in your business, how do you spend it? Do you spend it like I'm committed, conscious, I'm doing what I need to do? Or, because if you're half in, you're half out, right? So you can be doing 5 hours a week on your business, 10 hours a week on your business, but are you 100% in for that 10 hours? And that's 100% in. That's making a commitment to, get myself ready, walk out the door. I'm out of home. I'm walking to my business and I'm here. Because if you're at home, right, it's easy to get distracted with everything else. So you stay in your pajamas and everything else and blah, 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 blah. And you're doing all the other things because you're at home. But when you walk out the door, you've changed your mindset, right? Love it. Awesome.
Change your state.
Yeah.
Like it's the biggest thing, change your state. And that's like I said earlier in the call, is I was going through a massive turmoil, and every time I walked into my office, I'd literally stand at the door and say, I'm leaving you here. You'll be here when I get back. I'll see you soon. And then I'd walk in and I was businesswoman Lexi, who got shit done, that was serving her clients so deeply and did the work that needed to get done. And then as I walked out, I'm like, you've shrunk. You're not as big as what you were when I first walked in, because we create story and we make things bigger than what they actually are.
Well, businesswoman Lexi, we've gone 45 minutes. You know that, right? It's like we can.
I know. I just looked at the time.
Oh my God, how did we get to 45 minutes? So look, again, because everyone's listening here, if they want to get hold of you, if we got a corporate, a solopreneur, someone that wants to do some work with you, maybe you're the next energetic coach that they're looking for, like that person was at that meeting, and and they signed up for a year, again, getting the results. How do they get hold of you?
Come and find me at Alexis Jane on Facebook. That's where I hang out the most. I haven't really been active on my Facebook, but I am very active in my Messenger. So I've been doing a lot of offline stuff and building stuff out on the background. Yeah. I will be showing up a lot more there, but you can come and find me, Alexis Jane, on Facebook on my personal page. Come and send me a message. And
we're putting those links in there right now. Actually, I can see Patricia put all the links in. Thank you, Patricia. We can see bang, bang. And what
Thanks,
else?
Patricia. Strategy calls. If you want to jump on and have a strategy call, the way that I do sales is we jump on, we have a call. You want to figure out how it works, what it looks like to continue working with me, we continue working. If you want to come and just get clarity and have a conversation, let's come and have a conversation and get clarity on where you are and what you're doing. And
guys, look, I encourage you to take the opportunity, because as I said, for the last 7 years, Alexis has gone from Lexi, the single mum story, to Alexis Jane, her iconic brand that she's creating working with corporates. That doesn't happen overnight. It happened because she's done the work. And so having that strategy call, just having conversation, for maybe you can identify where your chokeholds are, where your blind spots are, that maybe you're not aware of, that Lexi can energetically pick up, and because she's been through it, and just give you some insight. And from there, you'll know what you need to do. If it's going to work for you, it's going to work for you. If not, if anything, take the opportunity. So if you're listening to this, you listened because you needed to listen to it, right? So please connect with Lexi. Lexi, I'm going to let you go now because we've gone 15 minutes. I want to say thank you so much for giving us your time. It was great having the conversation and reaching out, connecting with you. And I'm loving the successes that you're going through and the stories that you're posting and all the people that you're helping. And it's this is why we do what we do, right? To see people thrive and succeed, and to find their way and to find their own unique signature, their sign of their own nature that they bring into how they serve their clients. And you do it in your own unique way. So I want to congratulate you. I want to thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone that was listening. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We got thanks, Lexi. You are incredible. We got all these people saying that. So awesome. So wherever you're listening from, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. This is Arthur Bablis, Conscious Mastery Conversations.
Thank you.